You ready? All right, welcome to the Monday, May 5th, Whitley County Commissioner meeting. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item of business is employee recognition. Scott Schmidt, 25 years with Whitley County Government. Mike Rumsire, 25 years with Whitley County Government.
And I have one for Jill Schneider with 20 years of valuable contribution to Whitley County government. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Josh Smith with the Veteran Service Officer update.
Hello.
Hello.
So just some updates here. I know I wasn't here, missed the last month's meeting or in April, so kind of the first quarter numbers of the year. We had about 138 veterans that came through the office, one way or another, calls, walk-ins, appointments. Still showing we're well over 50% are all walk-ins. As of today, we've had 190 veteran contacts, and so about 54% of them are all walk-ins. So having the office open all the time has been very beneficial. There hasn't been too many events that I've gone to recently. Earlier this year, we did have the third quarter of the Discovery class for Indian Springs, and I've got the fourth quarter and the final one for this year coming up on the 14th of this month. Was also asked to come into Indian Springs on May 27th, the Tuesday after Memorial Day. The 6th grade class makes tissue paper poppies, and they're going to be doing a presentation. I guess they do that every year. And myself and a representative from the Northern Indiana VA healthcare system are going to go out to this school on the 27th and receive those poppies, and they're going to take them to the VA clinic in Fort Wayne and pass them out to veterans out there. We also have the annual training conference coming up June 23rd and 24th down in Indy. Was asked today if, on August 1st if I could come to the Marine Fest that they're having and do a little question and answer session on VA benefits. I guess it's like a 4-day event that a bunch of Marines from around the area get together, do a bunch of stuff together, and just wanted to, I guess a bunch of people have questions, so I'm going to go out and do that on the 1st of August. And then we still have the military appreciation soccer game for the boys soccer team, and that is going to be September 2nd. So that's pretty much it so far.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Questions?
Well, yeah, I just want to reiterate to anybody that may be watching on YouTube or may have a relative that's a veteran. We still hear sometimes of people that don't know that you're here.
Right.
And just anybody that's watching or listening, Josh is here. He's a veteran himself of multiple deployments. He's a tremendous resource, and he's ready to help. So reach out and get in touch with him if you're hearing this.
Keep me busy.
Yeah, he's full-time here on staff. So in the past, there were maybe some issues with availability, and that's no longer a concern with Josh here full-time. So
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The 2026 holiday schedule.
So as you remember, you approved the 2026 holiday schedule last meeting. But in the meantime, we had a request for the 4 and 2 employees to have their holiday for Independence Day, 4th of July, on the actual 4th of July. Next year it falls on a Saturday, so we just split the 5 and 2 and the 4 and 2 employees for that.
cool. We don't need to do anything. That's just a
I think you need to approve the amended holiday
Okay,
schedule.
well, I'll move to approve the amended 2026 holiday schedule as presented.
And I will second that. Any more discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks, Ian.
Recorder Rosemary Brown. Looks like there's a couple agreements we need to go over.
Good afternoon. The first agreement is the Schedule D that we do with our software company. They've raised their fees by 15%, which caused several things to be redone. But that, I understand that you need to sign because it is a contract with the software company.
Okay.
And that was raising the fees from here on in. The last one was in 2017. The fees have not changed since we went with that software company.
Mhm.
So this is the first time they've ever raised them.
And I believe Andy had a chance to look this over, if I'm
Yeah.
correct.
This is the Fiddler Schedule D.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I've had a couple more that Andy's looked at. One is the Laredo agreement. I laid those on the desk for you.
Yep.
That's what I provide to our customers that we sell monthly subscriptions that they pay us for each month. So they understand it, and from Andy's, that this is done through me because I'm in charge of filling out those subscriptions and collecting the money. So it's been updated to show the increase in price.
Great.
And then the third one is the bulk images. And Zillow, which is a large corporation, which is what you look at houses on online, they want to provide or purchase bulk images. And when they purchase bulk images, all they do is just buy however many images we have that month. Like last month we had 3,700, so the fee has gone up to 20 cents, so it's just the contract with them that they agreed to pay 20 cents per image to purchase those.
Okay.
And I believe Andy okayed that.
Yeah.
Correct?
All right. I would entertain a motion for the Schedule D.
So moved.
contract. Second? All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
And
Thanks, Ruby.
we need a separate one for each one, correct?
there's
Yeah,
three,
that's what I
yeah.
figured.
I'll move to approve the Laredo agreement regarding the use of online access to real estate records as presented.
Second, further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries.
And similarly, I will move to approve the bulk user agreement with Zillow as presented.
Second, any further discussion? All those in favor, raise their hands. Motion carries. It looks like there's just one section for signatures. Do we have a final copy for the Zillow agreement? Looks like I've got the red line version.
The final printout is they're sending
Okay.
after the agreement.
Jennifer Shinabery, Paylocity.
I didn't know if, I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Chris.
Chris,
Sorry, yeah.
if you wanted to explain a little bit about the,
Yeah, so with the Paylocity, sort of two things. We've been going back and forth with their legal. We actually had a little bit of trouble actually getting in contact with legal, but we did connect. They are still not willing to add the debarment language, and they are still having this being a recurring contract. So I know those are two things that, and I'll step back. So there, in our ordinance, as far as contract goes, we have the preference to not have recurring contracts. That's something that you could waive if you were wanting to do so. And then the state requirement as far as the debarment language is actually if an agreement is over $25,000. So while it's still the preference for all of the agreements to have that debarment language within it, there isn't actually a requirement at the state level that this agreement would have it because it is under that $25,000 threshold, about $19,000. So it's really up to what the department would like to do and if the commissioners would be willing to waive those two items that are in your current ordinance.
With the auto renewal, remind me again, Jenny, I know we've talked about it several times. Is it a 30-day notice if we did need to cancel?
I believe so.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, 30 days.
I'm assuming that, are you trying to find the amount of time to break that lease or break the contract?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they have a couple different ones.
What page did you find it on?
It's in
section 2,
term
but-
termination, section 2.
Yeah.
2.1 is where it mentions or 2.2A is where it mentions 30 days.
I think it's the app once it's renewing. I hate when they have the different orders. It's in a different, so it's because it it's in the renewal language. Just a moment.
Okay, that's fine. Well, while he's looking for that, I guess we'll just, I know you did a lot of work on finding software that would fit the county's needs. I know you met with these companies. As long as there's a reasonable way to break the contract, if we would need to, I would have no issue entering into this contract. So I know you put a lot of work into finding something that would help the county and help your position better able to serve our employees.
Yeah, so there's the terms and conditions, and then there's
Mhm.
also the order page. And so the subscription term is a monthly basis. So it's not necessarily 30 days, it's month by month.
Okay.
So we would just give them, and the way that Indiana law would normally interpret that would be that you got to give them a full month. So if we were like in the middle of June, for example, we wouldn't be able to necessarily terminate it at the end of, or in the middle of July. It would be at the end of the next period.
Okay.
So probably the most would be 60 days, but you can get out of it pretty quickly if you want to. So it's just that it's always there, but you can always get out.
Just by way of explanation, anyone watching, this is a needed HR, human resources software that's going to make our department more efficient and just streamline Jenny's efforts and make her job a little bit easier. And it's going to be a good asset to county employees and prospective county employees as well. So I move to approve the agreement with Paylocity as presented.
Second, further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. As soon as, do you have the most recent copy? It looks like we do not have the most recent copy to be
I
signed.
have it here, if that
Okay.
helps. I think it's just the top page. I think.
This says draft.
Yeah, that's all I have for now. I think once we sign that, the agreement, then I can.
You could always just request one without the watermark on them the same, and then upon receipt, you could execute it.
Okay, I'll just wait for that one. All right, Health Department, Scott Wagner.
First, I apologize for my attire today. I have a little too used to my right. First thing, the Schneider Geo Services Agreement, it's the exact same thing as last year. We have the funds for that, to provide a service for getting permits online. And it should have been pretty easy. I know that Andy did respond to it, that was the same as last year, so past that, that'd be easy to do.
I'll move to approve the agreement with Schneider Geospatial as presented.
Second, further discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries.
I'll go ahead and sign that one and send it back to them. If that's okay.
It looks like there's only one spot for a signature, so. Do you need a copy of this before I give it to him?
We can send me a copy too. Just so I can- The sewer ordinance. So last month, the regional sewer district gave an exemption for our gentleman at Steeple Acres. And in their exemption process, asked for a letter from the health department. In 2013, the commissioners passed an ordinance regarding the process for exemptions for sewer. And my question to legal was whether that ordinance is still valid, because some parts of that ordinance may be inconsistent with current state law. So I don't know if that section with the sewer exemption process is still valid.
Yeah, and we've got to look through that, yeah.
So I won't be able to finish that. So just so you know, sewer exemption, I can't. I don't think we should put the county at liability until I know for sure how to answer those questions.
Okay.
The last thing was HFI funds. I was hoping to bring you some information. Last Tuesday morning, we had a meeting with the state Department of Health regarding legislation and the change of funds available. A week later, we have nothing yet from the state. So they said it was going to be a couple days. It's been a week. But as soon as I get that information to you, I will do my best. Their budget is due June 1st, and ours is the 14th. So I may be submitting an incomplete budget based upon not having information from the state. So, any questions on that?
Thank you. Payroll and accounts payable.
Well, there was one, facility request did come across right
Oh.
before the meeting. It's from Vivian Sade, with the Whitley County Democratic Party. They are requesting use of the courthouse square from 1 to 3 p.m. On Saturday, May 31st, which is an hour after the farmer's market has disassembled. And it says the purpose is for peaceful protest, First Amendment right to assemble, to protest through free speech, and the right to assemble peacefully, very similar to the protests going on across the nation. We plan to talk and work with the police department beforehand to let them know about this event. So I have no issue with their right to do that, so I'll move to approve the request.
Has that been sent to maintenance and who all do we forward that to?
Maintenance and safety.
I didn't have a chance.
Okay, I think we should table it
Table?
until the other departments can take a look at it, and then we
Look at
can,
the date though.
The date is May 31st, so we got, it says Saturday, May 31st. Wait, well, date request is Saturday, May 17th. If it's too late for that request, then we request Saturday, May 31st. So a week from this coming Saturday would be their preferred date.
okay. Yeah, I mean, we've had all the
We
other
can
requests.
approve it
I
pending.
just didn't have time because of the short window of person.
No, I understand. Yeah, you didn't, it's not your fault, but I know that we're sending them all to them, so I'd like to give them the opportunity to take a look at that before we approve.
Okay.
Do you have a copy of this? Okay, I'll give this to you. Okay, motion dies for lack of second. Payroll and accounts payable.
Friday afternoon, I went up and looked over both. There were still a couple more claims that I think you approved earlier. But everything looked to be in order, so I will move to approve payroll.
Second, further discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries.
And similarly, I'll sign that.
I enjoyed seeing you.
Payroll?
Okay.
That was payroll and so also we'll move to approve claims as presented.
Before the 15th.
Oh, you did payroll?
We just did payroll.
No, those are accounts payable.
Oh, well, we signed it wrong then.
Okay. Second, all those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Meeting minutes?
Everything looks to be correct to the best of my recollection, so I will move to approve the minutes from the April 21st, 2025 Commissioners meeting as presented.
Second, further discussion? All those in favor, raise our hand. Motion carries. Can you pull that picture up for me? You already did it, okay. And one more thing that we just learned about last week, the broadband equity access grant funds, for the state came out, and if you look at, can you zoom in, T? Well, we can try.
There's a magnifier on that
Oh.
corner.
Okay, I don't have my glasses on. You have to bring it back to me, sorry. Blind.
It's LP.
I think if you hold control and scroll wheel up, it'll.
Thank you.
Scott Clay to the rescue. What a guy.
If you look at the map, green indicates available and green has not been granted. Blue is awarded, and if you look at our county, we are almost entirely blue. So, Dale, thank you, and I'm sure everyone's gonna be happy to hear me not talk about broadband anymore after 5 years, but we're super close, so we'll keep you guys updated. Commissioner Schuman, I know you wanted to add
Yeah.
something.
Whitley County lost a Titan. Friday morning, Bill Overdeer passed at his home, 94 years old, and on a professional level, I think if you were to build a Mount Rushmore of Whitley County government, Bill Overdeer absolutely belongs in one of those places. He served on county council for over 30 years, was a leader both at the state level and obviously at the county level. And on a personal note, he was like another grandpa to me. He was an incredible guy. I spent a lot of time with him as a kid because he was my grandpa's probably best friend. And I'm trying to, not that you try to think, but I never heard him say anything that wasn't positive. I never heard him say anything, other than, he always saw the best in things and people and situations. He's one of those people that you want to be around because he was an encourager, and he was just an awesome man, and I loved him like another grandpa. And I think most of us in the room probably knew him, had the privilege of knowing him, and our heartfelt condolences go out to the Overdeer and the Bachman families as they mourn the loss of this incredible man. And I could sit here and talk about him all afternoon, but he was amazing. He was incredible, and knowing him was a privilege.
It's great. Thank you, Rob. Anyone for public comment? You'll be given 5 minutes. Okay, go ahead and step up here and give your name and address, please, for the minutes.
My name is Cynthia Strack. My husband Mark and I reside at 2480 South, 800 East. We had we're in the industrial corridor, the TIF district, and we recently had an LLC come for Love's Truck Stop, purchased our property, and then found out that NDOT is going to put a cul-de-sac in front of our house that we don't want. I'd rather have a sign at the other end that says dead end. But this being said, we didn't ask for SDI. We didn't ask to be put in an industrial corridor, and we didn't ask for TIF money, which is federal money, to be put into it. However, we did raise 2 children in Whitley County. Rob, you know both of them, and they're upstanding people. And what Mark and I are proposing, that since they're gonna close South County line for SDI, like they did for 700, and then they're gonna take Yellow River and do Rapp Road and join that from Yellow River and Washington Center Road, which creates another cross-section on US 30, which is, I can't wrap my head around it, doesn't make any sense. But what we would like for the county commissioners, the city, county government, even the state, because we're contacting everybody, to put a right in, right out on the Allen Whitley County side. Whitley County benefits because they will contribute to the schools. The taxes in Whitley County will be more than what Mark and I are paying. Even Columbia City will benefit from it. They're a good neighbor. They provide a lot of things, and with my husband driving truck it for 50 years, we know what it's like to not have a place to stay when your hours are up. The gas station across the street, along with the Mexican restaurant, I believe will be moved to Butt Road, courtesy of SDI. But basically, we're going to be landlocked on 10 acres. My father-in-law already sold 10 acres to the state to put US 30 in, and what we're requesting is that city and county government impress upon NDOT that they need to put a right in, right out, so we can sell that and move on. The house is not handicapped accessible. We both have health issues. I will be visiting IU Medical to find out what my problem is. But we need everybody's help because the county roads need it, because the trucks run up and down county line. They run up and down the county roads. And this whole thing for Columbia City doesn't make any sense. You have an industrial corridor, and where REMC and 8020 are, they both have 2 accesses to Washington Center and to US 30 and the J channel in front of Kwesi School. Instead of just making it to the intersection, you have to cross 2 lanes of traffic, make a U-turn and cross 2 more lanes of traffic to get to the north side of 500 to deliver those kids home. So we need everybody's help to impress upon NDOT that we need them to work with us as well as we need to work with them. And I'm sure, well, I'm hoping, I should say, that, you know, it's a win-win situation. But if they don't, we would like the county or the state or even SCI or NDOT to buy that 10 acres and just let it sit there for the next 41 years, because that's how long we have been there. We've been good stewards of the community, and we need your help. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
My name's Vivian Said. I was the one that submitted a permit. Does the date of the 31st still stand if it comes back to another commissioner meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can probably, as long, once we have EMA and maintenance, who's the third?
Sheriff's Department, I think.
Security.
Security.
Yeah, we can probably expedite that and get it
Okay,
approved.
because I just need to have some planning.
Yeah,
That's fine.
you're about, what, 15 days out, or no less than that. You're about 13 days out from the 17th. That's when you,
Right.
your first date.
Well, yeah, that was the first day.
Yeah.
But the 31st is fine.
Okay.
It's the weekend after Memorial Day, so.
Is that, would you prefer that one maybe, or?
No,
Oh.
no, the weekend after Memorial Day is fine.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that the date was still set. That's what.
Yeah, we just do that because we've approved things before and then we don't realize that it causes a lot of other issues for,
Right.
like, we had something going on during early voting and that was a complete nightmare and we had to figure everything out. So we just try to coordinate everything before we approve it, so we don't have.
Voting, so I know exactly
Okay,
what you're talking about.
yes. So yeah, that date should be fine.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
That's all I needed to know.
Okay.
Thanks.
Tamala? Chris?
I
Rob?
have nothing to add at this time.
Okay, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for coming.